LSU's defensive and their statistics. I mean, how do you attack them?
I think we're gonna do what we got to do, and you look at what they've done right now. They're young up front, but they're extremely big and fast, and in the back, I know they've got a lot of hype, and they've talked a little bit about they think that this might be their overall best secondary back seven that they've had in the history of their school. So they've got great players. We just got to go out and execute our game. I think our players understand that if we go out and we just execute, that's all we're asking our players to make sure we do, and play mistake-free football. And I think we'll have an opportunity to be successful if we can do that.
I think Jamion had 9 targets last week, 10 going into last week. Was it a conscious decision to maybe get him some more reps heading into the SEC play?
I think the biggest thing with what you do is you look at teams and you look at how they play you, and we've had this conversation with many players in the past, but sometimes the teams that you play, they might be giving you more of the outside game with your wide receivers, and you got to take advantage of it. In the first couple teams we played, I did that. It gave us the opportunity to throw the ball a little bit more to the outside perimeter guys, and in this past week, we had an opportunity based on their defensive coverage to work the inside a little bit more. So, Jamion had a good day for us and a productive day. So, in order for us to be productive on the perimeter, I'm relying on six, 7 wide receivers out there weekly to be able to help us on the perimeter. And I think if we can execute at a high level and make big plays, we talk about in my room, we've got to make 5 big plays at 20-plus yards every game we're shooting for. We didn't do it this last week, and obviously, if we can do that, we feel strong that we'll be able to put points up on the board.
When you look at the numbers, it seems that the offense has been pretty balanced. Do you like that balance?
I do. You've got a ton of weapons, I think, right now, and when I say weapons, guys that can do their job. We always stress about do their job, and I think right now you look across in the running back position. Coach Knox is doing a great job of rotating guys. You got one ball out there, and whether it's Dak or whether it's Josh or Brandon or Shump or Nick coming out of the backfield, we feel strong about all those guys. And like I said, on the perimeter, we're rotating guys in right now. And, part of it in the first part of the couple games, we're trying to get some of these young guys reps. So now that we've hit SEC play, it's not, oh, look at these bright lights. It's they've already been there, done it. And, again, because you need those guys on the perimeter. I don't think you can play a game nowadays and go full speed with the same guy going, not full speed with 100%. So you've got to be able to have guys that you feel comfortable with taking multiple reps for you as well.
It doesn't show in the stat sheet, but your guys made some pretty vigorous blocks last weekend. Robert Johnson, Malcolm Johnson, those guys. The downfield blocking really opened up the running game and extra gains on their passing.
And we expect that. One of the things that Coach Mullen has an emphasis on in the wide receivers and the tight ends, Coach Salek does a great job with it. They know regardless, I don't care who you are, if you're not going to block, you're not going to play. And, if you're blocking, you're going to be able to probably grade out a champion. If you're going to grade out a champion, you're going to be the starter in the game. So those guys all take great pride in it. And we know, again, like I said, we want to make 5 big plays in our room, but also being able to create plays on the perimeter to have those running backs spring and make a big play. And a lot of that's due to downfield blocking. If they can break through the first part, we got to do our job on the back end, help get in the end zone.
What have you seen from Durunya? I think the first couple of games, the 3 penalties, blocking, pass interference. What have you kind of seen on the tape?
I think Bear is, where the penalty, yeah. I think the one thing, we don't want penalties. Penalties will kill you. The second part of it, he's an extremely big and extremely physical player, and that's what he was doing. You penalize him because he did have the penalties, but he played physical and a couple things, and I know he had a penalty on a block in the black, which it was, but he came in and cracked a guy and dropped someone and then tried to get an extra block, and the extra block was the penalty. The biggest thing, you coach him up and say, listen, the second block, great effort, but don't peel back and block back towards the line of scrimmage. Once you make the first block, turn around and peel forward. I love your effort, and it's just coaching the little things. But, if guys are giving me effort, we can coach the little things. But, again, we do got to eliminate the penalties.
When you're in that offensive room, what's the thing y'all talk about when y'all see Josh Robinson on film?
Josh has definitely done a good job for us right now. He's been consistent. Being able to run the ball. The biggest thing we talk about, period, with the running backs is, different than the quarterbacks, different than the receivers, is number one, we've got to protect the ball. We got to make sure we protect the ball. If you don't have the ball, you can't win. You take a look at statistics from conference to conference, year in and year out. The teams that are usually on top are the teams that can control the ball without turnovers. So he's doing a fantastic job, but at the same time, we've all, everybody's got to protect the ball for us a little bit better than what we're doing.
What's it going to be like for you heading back down to LSU?
It's just another game. You know, I think this game is about our players and about our team. And I think, every coach on the staff's been over to that stadium before, and for like most everybody on the other staff's been to our stadium here. So it's another game for us. You know, and for me, it's let's prepare our guys. I got to get my guys ready. I could care less where we're playing. The biggest thing for me is to get my guys prepared so I can maximize their potential and we can put them in the position to make plays game day. And that's the only thing I'm ever worried about.
Do you tell Durania, some of the younger wide receivers, what to expect going there with that atmosphere, that type of crowd, that, you know, electric, you know, atmosphere everyone keeps talking about?
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. It is, but you know, I think our atmosphere is fantastic. You know, it's an SEC program, and you know, every stadium you play in. This last stadium we played in had 40,000 plus, or close. Somewhere, I don't know, somewhere is a packed stadium. You got to perform, whether it's in the front back here in the practice fields, whether it's out there playing music, or whether there's no music, or whether it's 60,000 here, 100,000 somewhere else. The bottom line: do your job, and I always go back to it: do your job.
Thanks, Billy.